Awesome, guys. So different ways of investing in property, right? You're probably sitting here thinking right now that you want to go buy, an existing house or a house down the road, right? And for your first home, you need to think about where exactly do you want to live, right? Where exactly do you want to live? And more importantly, how much can you actually borrow right now? Because if you don't know how much you can borrow, right? If you don't know your lending capacity, then there's no point looking somewhere if you can't afford that area, right? You need to know what your budget is, and that's when you get to make up your mind. It's like, well, cool, if I've got, a $40,000 deposit right now and I want to live here, right, and this property is $700,000, then finance is probably not going to work for you right now. So you need to be realistic on where you want to live and how much deposit you got and what type of deposit you're going to need to afford the property and where you want to live, right? So, but there's a few different ways, right? You can either build, so that's like going out to those new estates, picking a block of land, picking a house design, which is super cool because then you get to actually design your own house. You can pick your colors. You can go through, do you want 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, 2 living, 3 living, 1 living? Do you want a pool? Do you want 2-story? Do you want single story? What type of kitchen do you want? What type of appliances do you want? And you get to go through all that process yourself. So that's building your new home, right? Then you've got obviously just buying existing, right? And it gets fun that way. Building your own home. It's a process. I've built 3 properties myself, and going through different builders, finding out which builder's best, finding out which one's not going to rip you off, what inclusions are, right? It's a fun game, right? I've coached a lot of people through that process, helping them understand what should you look for, what are the soil types, how much it's going to cost you, make sure what's included, what's not included, etc., etc. So that's been really fun, and sometimes it can get quite confusing, right? Then you've got existing. Excuse the background noise, I'm here in Bali at the moment. And then you've got existing, right, which is where you'll go out there, you'll find an area, and you'll find a house that you like, and you'll purchase that house, right? Now, that's where it gets fun, and I'm going to go through some tips and tricks. Let this motorbike go by. Some tips and tricks on how to go through and get the best deal, how to negotiate, what sort of finance, you may need, what team you need around you, and I'm going to give you guys a few skills on how to sort of bring that, how to save. I've worked with people before that have saved tens and tens of thousands of dollars just through negotiating skills, right? So I'm going to share some of those skills with you at the end in the fourth week or the fourth program. I'm planning to do four little videos here going for like 3 to 5 minutes. So hopefully this really helps. Right? You should have a notepad, right? And then you've got renovations. So, do you want to pick a house that you like in an area that you like, but maybe it's only got 3 bedrooms, you want 4, right? You can go through it. Maybe a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 renovation, but if it's in the right area, and it's in, it's a great house and you can foresee what you want it to be, then you can go through and you can add a bedroom and you can do that as well. Right, so also what's important to understand throughout this process is if you're buying property, you need to understand that different markets are going to grow at different rates. So when I educated myself and I got myself a mentor, I started looking, okay, well, what are the drivers that are driving this area? What are the schools coming in? What are the shopping centers coming in? What's the supply and demand like, right? Where's the closest airport? What's driving? Is it tourism? Is it tourism? Is it commercial? Is it industrial? Is it, education? Like, is it, medical? Like, what exactly is driving that region? What exactly is driving that area, right? So that's something important you want to keep in mind. Because different markets, if you can imagine, it's all on supply and demand, right? If you're buying in an area that's got so much stock there, so much stuff, then if there's not, that much, if there's not much demand and there's a hell of a lot of supply, then you're going to be buying in an area that's not going to grow in value, right? And we'll talk about how you can create wealth and going through that process of buying and accumulating wealth through property in some of the next episodes. And then, like I said earlier, first step is sorting out your finance, right? So looking at brokers. Like, I'm a big believer, you shouldn't go through your bank, and most people will go through their original bank. I've banked with Suncorp for the last 3 years, and I had a penny saver account when I was in grade 7, and I've just stayed with Suncorp since then. And it's just easier, right? Yeah, it may be easier, but it's probably also going to cost you an extra $50,000 to $100,000 over the course of your loan. So, I don't know how much value you put on your time, but for making a few extra phone calls or getting a mentor in that space could be ultimately the exact thing you need to go out there and save you. I saved my dad $50,000 about 3 months ago. If you guys are in the Property Young Guns, you would have seen the script in there that I give you guys on how to call your bank if you've already got a home loan and renegotiate a cheaper rate, right? And that one phone call for my dad saved him $50,000. So you need a broker. You need a broker. You need someone who's been in the game before, someone who understands finance, who understands legalities, understands your position, because ultimately it's not just about buying one property, it's about buying your second, your third, your fourth, your fifth, your sixth, right, and going through that process as well. So hopefully that makes sense, gives you guys some tips. Write them down, and the next video, let's see what the next one's going to be about.